two radicals. The first is for a human being. You have a torso and two legs. And then the second is two lines, two human beings. So Ren is the ideal relationship between any two human beings. And the heart of that relationship is empathy. Can I empathize with your feeling and your interest? And to the extent that I can, then my wings are tipped up and moving through as these human relationships come at us every day, why my maturity will increase. A sound man's heart is not shut within itself, but it's open to the hearts of others. If it is sincere enough, it will feel the heartbeats of others as if they were its own.
的心不是黑的心，
don't.
要好的心，不是坏的
The
心。
character for love, and you have highlighted the character for heart, which is right at the center
对
of the sentiment of love.
对。
Just one last step. In this ongoing Confucian project of human maturing or fulfillment, to become, he would say, to become fully human, because this is our potential in life. It goes, this empathy, Ren, this quality of empathy goes like ripples of circles into wider confines. Beginning first, I try to overcome my self-centeredness in the family and have empathize with their interest equal to myself. But if you do that, then you have a kind of nepotism. So the next step is to break beyond the family to the community, your town. But if you stop there, then you've got provincialism. So you should extend this empathy to your own people, all black-haired children of Han. But if you stop there, then you've got nationalism. So you've got to expand that empathy to the whole world among the four seas. All men are brothers, and we would add, all women are sisters. And now you might say, well, we've reached the limit. Oh no, because the human scene is set within the cosmos. And therefore it's a mistake to think that because Confucius did emphasize the human, it is a kind of humanism, stops with humanism. No, we have to empathize with the universe, with all nature.
It's the imperative of the social order, of our living together in a civilized way.
That is absolute. Sorry to say absolute, almost absolutely true, because again, we have to beware of mistaking this emphatically human emphasis for the all of his being. He did believe in heaven, and he did say, heaven only is great, earth is small. Therefore, it's not just a stunted humanism, it's a humanism in a cosmic environment.
Somewhere you wrote that Confucius believed he was creating our second nature. What do you mean by that term? What was he doing in creating our second nature?
Our primary nature is biological, physical, DNA and the like. Our second nature is cultural. And he was creating a culture which would shore up these ideals in the direction that would bring human fulfillment. And that's why he was so attentive to cultural forms. The dance, the music is a wonderful line, because I happen to be audio sensitive, that on one occasion he heard a melody on a flute and he lost his taste for meat for 3 months.
What did he think music, poetry, painting did for us and for civilization?
In the long run, he thought, what will prevail in international relationships is the culture of the countries in question. Kublai Khan conquered China physically, but after a generation, where you find Kublai Khan apprenticing himself to his conquered slave in trying to create calligraphy, and already he is hoping against hope that he will be mistaken for a Chinese. There is a melting pot. Culture that by its own refinement attracts people to emulate.
Did all of this influence your decision when you came back to the United States to make comparative religion the work of your life?
When I came to this country, why, at first I thought I was going right back as a missionary.
How old were you then?
I was 17, and my only American male role model was my father. And so I grew up assuming that missionaries were what American boys grew up to be. But I was totally unprepared for the dynamism of the West. You know, never mind that it was Central Methodist College, enrollment 600, in Fayette, Missouri, population 3,000. Compared with Podunk, China, it was the big time and the bright lights, and by 2 weeks, China had faded into a happy memory. I wasn't going to squander my life in the backwaters of rural China. But I just moved over across the street, so to speak, and I'd be a minister. And then that held in place for about 2 years. And then in my junior year, something truly extraordinary and amazing and unexpected happened. I entered college and I wanted to be big man on campus. And so I entered all the organizations I could get into. That was my extroverted nature. Then something happened in my junior year, and I ended trying to get out of as many organizations as I could in order to focus on my studies.
Why? What happened?
Well, what happened was there was a little discussion group that the philosophy professor organized. You know, these are the good old days of education. We were in and out of our professors' homes all the time, small town and so on. And once a month, why, he would have us over and we would discuss a philosophical issue. I suppose it must have been